Hi, I'm Joseph Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. I have to say that this has been quite a week of interesting topics. And it all began with just wanting to help develop a resilient spirit in the students and individuals that I encounter and found these articles which were a great jumping off place for these conversations. And the one that we've been talking about is Elizabeth Scott's article, Why Emotional Resilience is a Trait You Can Develop. Now, resilience not only helps us, but becoming more resilient these days and in these changing times can help us model positive traits for our children. The fact that we can develop resiliency is due to the neuroplasticity of our minds, of our brain. So today's trait is humor. Now, I've seen this trait firsthand in my parents. Now, they lived through the Great Depression and the Jim Crow South, and my dad fought in World War II and saw active combat. And this was also pre civil rights. So they experienced hard times, but constantly modeled a fantastic sense of humor and a readiness to laugh throughout their lives. And I believe it was their sense of humor, along with them being people of faith, that gave them the grit and the resiliency that we saw and experienced as a family. Now, years ago, I attended a panel discussion of survivors of Manzanar, a California World War II internment camp for Japanese Americans. And this was hosted by the Japanese American Museum in LA. I was expecting, I went because I didn't know much about it, and I was expecting to learn about the bleak conditions of this concentration camp like situation and environment. But I was so surprised by the lively nature of this panel. They had us laughing to the point of tears as they discussed the dire situations that they experienced, like having lamb all the time. One lady said she would never eat lamb after she left the internment camp or marmalade, orange marmalade. But as they discussed these daily conditions and how they coped, one audience member finally, when we had Q&A, stood up and said, "How could they laugh in the face of such horrible circumstances?" And the lead moderator said that they had to have a sense of humor in order to survive the camp and go on with their lives afterwards. And their resilient spirit made this very evident. Most of these people were in their 70s and 80s and 90s. Now, a dear friend of mine's mom was one of these survivors, and I noticed that she always had sparkling wit and looked at things with a positive mindset and a humorous bent. You know, as I was reading, I found out that Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor, described this as gallows humor, and I didn't know that he was the one who coined that term. But he described gallows humor as an in group humor that can help acknowledge and dispel negative emotions and strengthen the social support among people. And we talked about the social support yesterday. And strengthen social support among people who have come through trauma and challenges. He stated that it was also a way to mentor others who are going through difficult experiences. Now, there are some very important scientific reasons for having a sense of humor, too. As I researched this, I found that in 2006, researchers in Loma Linda, California, found that two hormones, beta endorphins, which help alleviate depression, and the human growth hormone, which helps support immunity, increased by 27 and 87% respectively, as participants in this research project merely anticipated watching a funny video. Now, I found this amazing. They were just thinking about that they were going to see a funny video, and it boosted both their beta endorphins and their human growth hormone. This amazing brain chemistry and humor. Um, well, I was thinking that developing a sense of humor is something that we can easily teach the students that we both nurture and educate. And in my classroom, I didn't know that this had such a profound effect, but I would take time out during the day to either read a humorous story like No David, these songs, and we laughed a lot together. In my own mind, I was trying to alleviate some of the stress that they might have had in the educational process because it is hard. But, to make it to keep it fun. That was my huge perspective, is just to keep it fun. Now, little did I know that I was not only helping develop their sense of humor, but we were also changing our brain chemistry at the same time. Go figure. Well, I hope that this was informative, and please subscribe, share, and I look forward to seeing you a little bit later. Have a fantastic Fun Day Friday. Bye bye.